right, you're welcome to another episode of the OMN NBA podcast. Today, I have a very special guest, all the way. Where you did? You did Kumasi?
Nah, they are cry. They are cry.
Oh, Ty, you come. I think you did Kumasi. I thought you were in Kumasi.
Yeah, I came to Accra I came to Accra last 2 days. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're familiar with basketball in Ghana, or you follow basketball like Ghanaian basketball fans on Ghana on Twitter, you probably know Rondo. He tweets a lot, and his opinions on basketball is like followed by a lot of people on the timeline. So Rondo_GH on Twitter is my guest today. I've known him since like 2012, 2011, for a long
Yes,
time.
sir.
And the funny thing,
Yeah. Bro.
you used to tell me you're a Denver Nuggets fan, and I'm still on your ass about that thing, bro.
Oh, for me, I've actually supported like 3 basketball teams so far: Denver Nuggets, Boston, Boston Celtics, and currently I'm a Lakers fan. Not
Uh,
really because of anything, but because of the king, right? Yeah.
so you jump on the King bandwagon, like maybe everywhere you go past.
Oh, nah, not necessarily, but it was like at first I was a LeBron hater, right? But I realized this guy is really good. Like he's too good to be hated on. So I just joined on the LeBron train. That's all.
Tight. Now,
Well,
like I'm saying, like if you know Rondo, if you follow basketball, like the Ghana basketball Twitter fans, everybody knows Rondo. But now you're a Lakers fan and strong Laker fan as well. So 2021-2022 season, Golden State Warriors are NBA champions, back again on a familiar place where they've been at for the past 8 years in the league. They've won 4 of the titles. Now 2022, we all thought Lakers, since they assembled the Carmelo Anthony, Russell Westbrook, they have LeBron James, they're gonna be like, not everywhere, not even bad of a place to be like a conference finals, but injuries happen, fans blaming coaches, blaming Russell Westbrook. How would you summarize 2022 season for the Los Angeles Lakers?
personally, before we started the season, right?
Yeah.
I was very confident that the Lakers were gonna make the playoffs and actually win the championship. But there are so many things that can happen in an NBA, not just NBA, like in a sports season,
Yeah.
that we have no control of. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I saw our roster, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Anthony Davis, and Malik Monk, all those players,
Yeah.
I knew we were going to be special. Then my mind inside, I know the year we're definitely going to be special, but it all started with the injuries. When injuries starts happening, and you have new players trying to join a team, if let's say these were players who were there already, who had played like together for a long time, maybe it wouldn't have been like that big of a problem like we had last season. Because these are players who are trying to like gel, like play together, know each other. Then all of a sudden, then play like 2 games or 1 game, then one study hits. Then this
Yeah.
one study hit. Then they have to play a new system and they have to do this. It was affecting the team. It was affecting the chemistry. And Vogel too was struggling to like find the perfect lineup. I did see plenty people that blame Vogel. Like I'm not say he had some blame in it, but personally, I don't believe he's a bad coach. Like people always try to like
Paint
portray
him
him to
out to
be.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, because Vogel is somebody who won us a championship in 2020. He's been a very great coach, a defensive-minded coach who has been very successful in the league. Even though he has just one championship, he was able to transform the Pacers, make them a very, very good team who were making the conference finals and everything. So it was just like last season just wasn't our season because we faced so many adversities. And let me give you this. Let me tell you this thing. Like you have Golden State Warriors who won the championship, right?
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors. Imagine if Steph Curry had gone injured before the playoffs, or like had like an injury that took him out for like 50 games or something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Warriors could have won a championship?
Nah, they will actually struggle a lot because without Steph, they have a very bad winning percentage. So I mean, come on.
Exactly. So you have the Lakers trying to play without Anthony Davis, trying to play games without LeBron James. and you have Russell Westbrook, who I don't know. I feel like even though he wasn't great last season, but I feel like he's unfairly criticized, like because the criticisms are too much.
Yeah.
He wasn't great, but looking at the circumstances, Russell Westbrook, the blame that they put on Russ, their excessive blames and everything, I feel like it's not merited because he deserves. There were games where we couldn't have even won, we couldn't have even competed without Russ, and there were games where he played bad. But people take all these they get these highlights, these messes, and I tell you, you look at every single player in the league. If you decide to compile their failed moments, their bad messes and everything, you get plenty.
Yeah.
Get plenty because they push Russell Westbrook turnovers. Steph Curry is my second favorite player in the league. Steph Curry averaged like I think three plus turnovers per game. So assuming somebody decides to like
Top
look
highlights of
for
his bad games.
all highlights of Steph Curry's turnovers. You get it. You get more than 30, right? You get plenty turnovers, and you just compile them. Then you put it there and be like, yo, this guy has been playing stupid and everything, but which is not so. You get it.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been unfairly criticized, even though he deserves some of the blame. But this is a player who was put in the team to kind of like complement two players who were not even available, who decided I won't say decided, but who were always out of the team because of injuries and stuff. So our season we were just unlucky. I still stand by that if we had all the players healthy, we could have won a championship. Yeah.
So in your opinion, if all the players like they healthy were fit to play at least more than 60 games a season, you guys go win the championship?
We would have won the championship. We would have won the championship. It's like the season prior to last season, the season before. We when AD was out, we were struggling a bit. But when he came into the team, we were really playing great.
Yeah.
We faced Phoenix in the first round. And if you look at the first two games before AD got injured, right? We were outplaying them. We were playing them, especially the game three. We played them like crazy. We outplayed them. We super outplayed them. But AD got injured, then that was it. We couldn't play again. So injuries play a huge role. So yeah, I still stand by it. If we had a healthy team, we could have done something really special.
Okay. You basically sort of defended Russell, like who's been like on everyone's, Twitter fingertips talking about how terrible he is, how he needs to be cut from the team, he needs to find another team and all that stuff. But we're starting a new season, not far away, let's say a month or two away. Should Russell stay or you would not want him there? Even though he had, you kind of like gave a valid explanation as to why he still needs to be on the team. Would you want to see Russell starting, in the spot next year? Next season.
Yeah, for sure. I want Russell back. I want Russell back in the sense that we never really got the opportunity to kind of like watch Russ, LeBron, AD kind of like play together for an extended period of time, right? You had Russ most of the time. You had Russ facing tough battles like alone. Like you had AD out, you had LeBron out, AD coming back, this one coming back. So I feel like they never really had a chance to play together and gel. So yeah, I want him back. And when he actually like figured things out, he was really playing well. We had games where Russell Westbrook actually like played great. Like you look at the Detroit game, the Charlotte game, he was really, really great. So I feel like if we get Russell back, and here's one thing: people always talk about how Russell Westbrook was the black sheep of the team and everything. But we played a game without Russell Westbrook. We played a game. You had LeBron in the team. We had AD. One game without Russell Westbrook. We played against like I think arguably the worst one of the worst sides in the league at that time. It was Portland. They didn't have Dame. I don't think they had Nurkic. Or yeah, they had Nurkic, but they didn't have Dame.
I think it was
A
only
bad team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we played against a bad team, and Russell Westbrook didn't play that game, but LeBron and Anthony Davis played that game, and we lost to them. We lost that game. You get it? So, putting all the blame on Russ is really bad, and I want him back. I want us to run it with him one more time because I trust the coach. I've been listening to the coaches in interviews, and I feel like he's a really great person who can really like transform not just Russ but the whole team in general and make us a contender next season.
Okay. Talking about coaches, last season, another person that didn't catch, in like that caught a lot of slack or was already on fire about his job was, Frank Vogel, who he said it was a great coach. I mean, we also what he did with the Indiana Pacers, making them one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference, But was he the issue, or was it a team's fitness?
Um, Frank Vogel was like he was partly to blame, but he was not entirely the issue. Like everybody on the team had their you could apportion blames to every single person on the team, right? But Frank Frank had to deal with players getting in and outside of the team. He had to deal with um new players finding it a bit difficult to gel because of the inconsistencies in the lineups due to injuries, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Frank. You could blame Frank for some of our problems, but not all. Frank, he had the opportunity to kind of like the part where I'll blame him is he had a chance to fix some great lineups, some lineups that would uh maximize the talent that he had on the floor. But when it came to that point, Frank would put this players. He could put DeAndre Jordan. He could put Russ, DeAndre, and a couple of players who couldn't really gel together. Who, from a layman's point of view,
Yeah.
you could see that these players couldn't really like play together. But Frank stuck with them, and it didn't work. And as a coach, once you make your selection, once you make a decision, if it turns out to be great, you'll be praised for it. But if it turns out to be bad, you have to be criticized for it. So yeah, his lineups were really bad at some point, but he had to face some problems of his own. So I don't know, he is to be blamed, but not really like all the blame.
Okay. All right. Since you've actually laid it out perfectly, let's move on to the next one. Now, the team is full of superstars. Last season they had a lot of stars, I mean, I would say superstars because you have LeBron, AD, Russell, Carmelo on the team. But then again, for me, from my opinion, sorry, Melo didn't play that much of a huge impact. I mean, we've had Melo from Knicks, we've had Melo from Portland. He's played his best years. You can't expect Melo to still give you 20 points per game. But then again, Melo's an elite shooter who can just at any day catch fire. But we still didn't get that Melo impact. But then again, so the team now falls on LeBron and AD with Russell catching a lot of slack. I still consider him a superstar though, but now the team is on LeBron and AD. Do you still feel LeBron needs another superstar, an all-star on the team to be able to carry the team to another championship or to the playoffs?
Not really, not really. I feel like LeBron needs the team needs the right balance of players, right? Because we have three superstars on the team. So with the superstars, you were talking about Melo. Melo was a great player. Melo actually contributed a lot when we started the season because he was shooting really well. But on the defensive end, Melo was a bit poor. You get it? Yeah. So you can't really like you can't really have a player who's like extremely good offensively, and when it comes to defense, he becomes a liability. And you expect to kind of like compete with with teams who are playing 100% on offense and 100% on defense. You get it? We should surround LeBron with these not just superstars. We already have the superstars. We should surround him with players who are like willing to compete both on on offense and on defense. And most of the time, people always talk about how you need to put shooters around LeBron because LeBron needs shooters to play. But personally, I feel like we need for LeBron team. LeBron needs shooters, yeah, but he needs somebody who can actually also get buckets for him. Like go and get buckets, not just shooting from three. Like go and get buckets, get the ball, and also go and get buckets. Get it? So um, we don't need like a major superstar because currently, which superstar will you get? We need players, a couple of shooters around Brown, and a player who can really go and get buckets. That's what I thought Russ would do, but it couldn't really work last season. But I feel like Russ can be that player next season.
So
Not to go for like 30 points per game or 25 points per game. But when we need him, he'll actually go and get, whether it's inside or mid range, he can actually go and get those points for us.
So like you're kind of on Russ to be better in clutch moments, better than last season.
Yeah, I'm actually counting him to be like a better player throughout the whole 40 is it 48 throughout the whole four quarters, right? I'm counting him to be a better player. And I know a player like Russ who has shown time and time and again in the league that he's a really, really great player, will bounce back and play really well. And listening to the coaches' interviews and stuff, you know that he will find the right way to integrate Russ into the team so that he can actually perform well and help the team be successful.
All right, tight. Still like looks like yeah. I think you're very few of the only Laker fans who still have hope in Russell. Looks like because last season, right, on the timeline, right, I was actually trying to tell people, not every player has the greatest or the best season of all time. Like you will still have some games or a season where you weren't your best. I mean, not even LeBron has had like the greatest.
Exactly.
But, so I mean, they need to cut him some slack. But as soon as you tweet that, you have Laker fans showing you highlights, like you said, of his bad games, his turnovers, and they're like, okay, no, you need to move on from that because averaging 18 points per game, 7 rebounds and stuff, bro, that's someone's all-star selection, stats. So I don't know why they would still come for rest. Charlie, it's just what it is. It is what it is.
Facts. And here's one thing. Yeah, and here's one thing that people always do that I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, let's say if I shoot an air ball, or if I miss a ball that hits the backboard, and you miss a ball that hits the rim, they are all misses, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if I score, so right now people are trying to tell me that if I attempt like 10 shots and I miss 2, and all the 2 shots that I missed hit the backboard or hit the top corner of the backboard or was an elbow or whatever. Whoever if the next player makes 5 out of 10 shots and all his 5 misses hits the rim, that player really like played better than me. That's what they are trying to say.
Yeah, true. That's a better analogy.
Yeah, so so a miss is a miss. That's so even if you show me an air ball, just show me his shooting percentages. Show me you get it. Show me those things, not just an air ball, whatever. Every player, even Steph Curry shoots an air ball sometime.
Oh yeah.
You get it. So yeah. So if I miss, it's 0 points. You don't say I shot an air ball. So that's worse than somebody who hit the rim. Nah, they are all misses.
Okay. Vogel is gone now. Coach Darvin is now the new, Los Angeles Lakers head coach coming into the 2023 season. What were your thoughts when he was recruited, and what are some of the things that you want to, replicate on this Lakers team?
Darvin Ham, I actually didn't know a lot about him. Like for real, if I'm being honest, I actually didn't know a lot about him before the hiring. When we hired him at first, I thought like, yo, I mean, who is this dude? You get it? So I did some research and I realized this was a player who has been in the league for some time, who was able to stay in the league. For a player who was playing like who had his averages for a player that kind of player to stay in the league that long, it means that player was special, like he was smart. He knew how to play his role. So I mean, knowing that alone made me like I was very impressed with him as a person and as a player. Then I learned that he was on the Milwaukee Bucks team. He helped Giannis. He was an assistant coach. I learned a lot about his journey, and I was really impressed. Then after that, I was listening to some of his interviews. You could see that there's somebody who is focused on the grit and grind. He's focused on the defensive end. He's focused on the offensive end. Players like playing for each other. The team being like cohesive, playing like for one another. The team actually like playing tough basketball. So I watched all the interviews, then I realized there's somebody who can actually help the team. And they asked him a couple questions about Russ, and it was like, yo, this dude has been like unfairly criticized. All the criticisms have been like over the top and everything. He's this. I'll put him in positions where he can be successful. He has to give us all on the defensive end. I was listening to him and I was very impressed. I listened to his opinions on LeBron, his opinions on Anthony Davis, him thinking AD is a player who everything in this league, like everything, for us to be successful, AD has to show up. Like everything revolves around AD, and he was right. So he's somebody that I really respect, and I think he can really, really do a lot for the Lakers and help us reach our goal.
Okay, so if the Lakers don't make, and that's just if, I mostly like to use if in hypothetical situations because you can't predict the future. I mean, not a lot of people even saw the Golden State Warriors making it as far as the NBA Finals. So if Darwin
Yeah,
is to miss the playoffs, would you call for an early sack or an early replacement, or you would still want him to, get time to actually build the team better?
it's a championship or bust season. Anything aside the championship for me is a failed season. And for Darvin not to be sacked, he needs to at least make the NBA finals. For me, that's what I think.
Oh
If he
wow.
makes the NBA finals and due to some circumstances he could not win, then I mean, but if with all the team that with the players that we have and him, all the things that he said, if we fail, then I don't know. I'm pretty sure they will sack him for real. I don't know. This is a no-brainer for me. If we fail to make the playoffs, that one he has to be sacked on the spot. Like after the last game, they just give him his letter and they just tell him to go.
That's crazy. Yo, I mean, it takes time to build teams, for certain people, like an example would be the how do you call it, the Phoenix Suns, out of nowhere, Monty Williams just,
Yeah,
changed the face of the team. But I understand, the Lakers is historically is one of the greatest teams in basketball. There's much expectation when you're on that team. They've had their seasons where they actually needed to rebuild. Those were the Jordan Clarkson, Nicky Young era, which is past and gone. Now you have LeBron James, AD, you have superstars. But then again, like you said, situations can happen. So I understand your point though. If they're all healthy and they don't make the playoffs, then he can call for a sack. But if things happen,
yeah.
let's say you have okay, so if he makes at least the semifinals with a healthy squad, it is still not a good season.
The semifinals, conference semifinals. No, no, no. It's not a good season for
Oh
me.
wow.
Like we. It's a championship or bust season for me.
Mm.
So if he makes the semifinals, nah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Tight. Looks like Darwin has a lot of pressure on his head from Rondo and all the Laker fans because Charlie, this man takes some job where
Yep,
it's
yep.
crazy to. Okay. Now somewhere this year, I mean, off season this year, we're all just relaxing, watching the drama unfold around free agents, and off season players trying to pick some moves here and there. And then we heard from my favorite player of all time in the basketball. I mean, that's the reason why I call myself Uncle Drew, and people don't know that, but Kyrie Irving said he wants a trade from the Brooklyn Nets. One of the destinations or one of the teams that everyone was talking about, the Athletic, Woj, Shams, and everyone was talking about that was his favorite team to land him was the Lakers. There were rumors that they will actually package Russ and a couple of guys and picks for Kyrie. Were you happy and were you looking for that trade to happen? Or I mean, you've had your stand on the fact that Russ needs to stay, but if the Lakers had that package to get Kyrie, were you going to be happy about that trade, or you still want Russ to stay?
Oh, like I said, I want Russ to stay. That one there for me. I really want Russ to stay. But if we are able to get Kyrie, I'll definitely root for Kyrie. But if I'm the one pulling the plugs, I'm not doing the trade for Kyrie. Because Russ two first rounders for Kyrie, a player who has 1 year left on his contract, who who has not really guaranteed anybody that he's gonna stay after his 1 year has ended, right? This is the player that we are giving. We are gambling our future on. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I wouldn't do that shit. I would do, sorry for my choice of word, but I wouldn't do
No,
that.
that's
You
okay.
get
It's
it?
okay. It's hey, it's cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that shit. Like for real, I'm not gonna do that shit. So Kyrie is a good player. He's a good player, but you don't know his mindset. And
Yeah.
here's one thing. Here's one thing. People forget that when LeBron went to Cleveland, his
Mm-hmm.
first his first his first 40 games or something with Kyrie, he was I think he was 20 20 20 2021, right? He
Yeah.
lost 20 he won 20 and lost 21, or either he won 20 and lost 21, or he something like that. It was 2021. But his first 40 games with Russ, he won 21 and lost 19.
So he had a winning record with Russ and then a losing record with Kyrie.
Yeah, like when we started with Russ, he had a better record. So Kyrie, that's what I'm saying. If you give Russ time, maybe he can be the player that people want him to be. Or net. But no, I'm not even saying I'm guaranteeing that next season if Russ stays on the team, we can definitely play well. He can be a really great player. But Kyrie coming back on the Lakers with all the uncertainties that surround Kyrie, all the drama, all the problems that Kyrie bring along. I mean, like for me, I'll not risk it. I'll not risk it for sure, for real.
I mean, because of his antics, there's not a guarantee that he can play and all that. For that alone, you won't go for Kyrie, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I also believe that if Russ plays well, if Russ becomes like a very big part of the team, if Russ adjusts, I feel like he's gonna produce better than Kyrie, because people forget that on Cleveland, Kyrie was the second scoring option, right? He was the second scoring option. At times he could be like first at some point, but on the Lakers, we are expecting Kyrie to be the third scoring option, the position, that the role that Russ didn't really. You guys said Russ couldn't adjust. Kyrie is not somebody who's going to take a back seat and be the third scoring option.
Yeah, that's
true. And AD, you can't have AD being a third scoring option, because AD is very productive. AD has to get his points for us to. AD is somebody for me who impacts winning more than Kyrie. So yeah, Anthony Davis impacts winning. He's a better player. He's a far better player than Kyrie, in my opinion, like offense and defense. Kyrie can score, do everything, but I'm picking AD over Kyrie on any day of the week. So you have Kyrie. Now Kyrie has to come and take a backseat and be the third best player on the team, be the third scoring option on the team.
Okay.
I don't think maybe he could. I mean, his skill set can help him, but I don't think Kyrie being the third scoring option on the team is what we want right now.
Okay, all right. So I mean, there's your stand. I mean, Kyrie and his answers. I mean, personally, I would have loved to see that. I mean, Kyrie, LeBron back again, running it again like Cavs did with AD. I don't think AD. I mean, it would have been dope, but Kyrie is.
Wait! Don't get me wrong. Kyrie would be like a very great like addition. We will play really well with Kyrie if and only if LeBron and AD don't get injured. Imagine if we sign Kyrie, then LeBron and AD get injured. Last season, Brooklyn Nets had Kyrie and KD, right? KD got injured. Kyrie and Nets went on a 12-game losing streak, 12-0, 0 out of 12. So you're telling me if LeBron and AD get injured, Kyrie's gonna win us games? No, hell no. Same as Russ. Hell no, it's not gonna happen. So yeah.
Okay. Now, LeBron is growing each day, but he's not showing any sign of him slowing down or retirement. Because I mean, we don't know if he's still waiting to have a son in the league, or at this point, I mean, this season he just needs to average 16 points per game to beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record for most points scored in the league. So, is this LeBron's last chance to win another championship?
That's a dicey question, but it depends on how his body feels after this season. I think LeBron can go like 2 more. LeBron has like 3 more great seasons left in him. 3 more like seasons at the top left in him. Mm-hmm. And this night's last chance, because after this season, he's definitely going to play another season. And based on what we see this season, that's what will determine like how good LeBron will be the next season, right? I was watching his workouts on Twitter and Instagram, and I realized that dude is not slowing down. He's still going to be like the LeBron that played last season. He's that good. He spent his youth taking care of his body. You get it? So his body is really, even though he's been having a lot of injuries and stuff, but when he steps on the court, you realize the injuries are not really affecting his game. He's still going to score. Maybe he cannot really play defense like he used to play, but the offense is always going to be there. And I feel like when we get to the playoffs, that's when the defense, LeBron, the great defender, will pull up in the playoffs. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 more seasons to go. Maybe then we can call it his last, run to another championship. So for now, you still think like he can still go.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, and I genuinely believe he's gonna win like 2 more championships before he retires. So
Oh, okay. I mean,
yeah.
what to say, but hey, I mean, because this Harden, working out very hard now, taking pay cuts. There's the Golden State trying to run it back. There's Giannis and Middleton, trying to come back for their title. There's Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns. I mean, there's a whole lot of things going to go on. But I mean, LeBron is still LeBron, like you said. But anyways, before we wrap it up real quick, I want to find out from your opinion. Winning championships, one of the best assets you need to have is your bench. Now, the Lakers bench, they don't have much of, the sauce that they used to have. So, who do you need to see to step up their game to help the Lakers coming off the bench with bench scoring next season?
That's a bit tough. This season we have LeBron, Russ. We have this sophomore. What's his name? Austin Reeves, right? We have Reeves. We have Wenyen. We have Cole Swider. Cole Swider, who is not actually he's not made a team yet, but I feel like he needs to be given a roster spot because he's the best shooter on the team. And we have Looney Walker. Who else did we sign? I'm trying to see our roster. LeBron, AD. I feel like Looney Walker is going to be a great player for us.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to contribute. And the center that we signed, the center from the center who used to play at Washington. What's his name? The center who used to play for the Wizards.
What's his name?
Forgetting his name.
Yeah.
Thomas Bryant.
Thomas Bryant.
Yeah, Thomas Bryant. He's going to be a really good player for us. I feel like he's going to contribute a lot. He's going to do everything that in his part to help make us successful. And he's actually going to be successful because the way he plays basketball, he's not just somebody who plays in the paint. He's somebody who can stretch the floor and give AD room to like operate in the paint. So yeah, Brian is going to be a really great player for us. But in terms of bench scoring, I feel like Looney Walker is going to be our best scorer of the bench. That's my opinion. And Troy Brown is also going to contribute. I trust all those players that we've had. Some people are looking down on the acquisitions, like on our roster, the players that we signed this season. But I look at our roster and I see that we are really young. We have young, talented players who can really like give their all. They remind me of the 2020 Lakers. Because before the season, people were like, you have LeBron, you have AD. Who are the players who are going to like, give their all? Like, because you had players like KCP, Kuzma. You had even Markieff. All these players they were contributing, right? Caruso came out of nowhere, and Caruso became like this crazy stalwart on our team who was really playing well. He was playing extremely well with LeBron. So I see the same thing with this team. I feel like this team is going to be really great defensively. And on the offense, we are going to be really, really, really great. Okay. Yeah, I like our chances. Yeah.
Okay, bro. So, I mean, Charlie, thanks so much. But, in wrapping up, I need to ask you this. Who do you think is the greatest threat to Lakers for another championship title in the Western Conference?
Obviously, the defending champions. They are the greatest. The Golden State Warriors, if they stay healthy, if they're able to like keep their players, because Andrew Wiggins is a free agent, Jordan Poole is a free agent who there's a high chance, like there's like a 90% chance they will come back, but anything can happen.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
if they're able to.
Yeah, Wiggins will be free agent in the summer. I think same as Poole. I think Wiggins has 1 year more left on his contract, and Poole is a free agent in the summer. So.
Okay, so there are still players on the team right now.
There are still players on the team on still the roster.
Oh, okay, then that's great. That's great. So these are since these players are still there, I feel like these players, Warriors are the biggest threat in the East. And I see the Clippers, even though I don't really like them, but I feel like the Clippers, with the players they have on their roster, I don't really like them. Like, fuck them. Like, I don't really. Yeah, but in as much as I don't like them, in as much as I think they are trash, they are shit, but you cannot deny their talent, right?
Yeah.
They have Kawhi, they have PG, they have Norman Powell, they have even they recently signed John Wall. So these players are really good players who can help propel a team to a championship. So yeah, Clippers are really good. So I feel like the biggest threat for me are the Golden State Warriors and the Clippers. Yeah,
Okay.
in the West.
Okay. And in the East, if Lakers make the finals, who don't you want to like? What's the team you're dreading or you don't want to face in the finals if the Lakers make the NBA finals next season?
Oh, I'm not scared of any team, but I feel like some teams, for real, I'm not scared of any team, but I feel like some teams will be a tougher opposition than others. Because I feel like if all our players are healthy, Anthony Davis and LeBron, like they've not lost a playoff series when both of them are healthy. They've never lost a playoff series. So yeah, so I feel like, but in the East, bro, Miami's a tough team. I don't want to face Miami. The Bucks, obviously, the Bucks on any good day, like if they have their full roster, nobody want to face the Bucks. They are really tough. So Miami, Milwaukee, and Philly. Yeah, Philly. As for Brooklyn, I don't really think they will make the finals. Even if they do, Lakers in 4, easy,
Okay, bro, yo, Charlie.
easy.
So, Charlie, it's been the Lakers agenda today on the OMN NBA podcast with Rondo, my brother right there. If you don't know Rondo, just follow him on Twitter at Rondo_GH. A big, huge basketball fan. I've known him since
Appreciate it.
2012.
Appreciate it.
The weird thing is we've never met in person.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe sometime this December.
Yeah,
We have a lot of programs going on in Accra, so we probably might link up one of these programs. Yeah,
that's weird, man. 10 years of friendship and you've not met each other. That's crazy, bro, Charlie. But hey, man,
for sure. It's funny.
it's just the love of the game. So, brother,
Yeah.
thanks for accepting my invitation and coming on the podcast. I mean, you need to do your own too as well, man. I've seen you've been inconsistent with your podcast, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about time. You get me?
Yeah,
Sometimes there was a time I tried. I did one.
yeah,
I did
yeah. I
one.
listened to it about the finals review, I think.
Yeah, even after that, I did another one, but I did it. I think what happened? I lost the file, something like that. I was like, bro, this stressful.
Charlie, it'll be easy putting the whole content together and trying, find balance.
Yeah, but I'll go back and try and do another one like very soon.
For sure. Charlie, thank you so much for joining today's, podcast. And guys, subscribe and share with your friends and listen to our podcast. It's the Women NBA Pod. Charlie Rondo, thank you so much for joining and talking to me.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Until every Friday next time, we're out of here. And do not forget to always subscribe.